Welcome in the next episode of Pragmatic Talks. Today our guest is Konrad Głowacki. Konrad is a former startup founder and software engineer at Google. Today we are going to talk about the personal productivity boosted by AI. So welcome, Konrad.
Hello.
In this podcast, we talk to founders and experts to share real stories and lessons from building and scaling digital products and companies. Pragmatic Talks is for those who want to understand how digital products are really built and grown. No fluff, no buzzwords, just honest conversations.
As every one of you knows, I'm a huge fan of using AI into my everyday job, and also like I'm doing this for my private stuff and from at work as well. But Konrad is way more advanced in that, from what I heard. So, Konrad, if you could tell us a bit more about how do you use AI to boost your productivity, or maybe there is some use case, like one big use case that AI is truly boosting your productivity.
Like we can talk about what is boosting my productivity, but first of all, I would say what is not boosting me. For me, the biggest problem with all the AI tools is that there are so many of them that I don't know which of them I should use. And when I was trying every single AI tool, I just got confused. Which should I do? Which task should I do with this or that tool? And switching is quite problematic. So the first thing first is to define like small set of tools. Don't get beyond like 3 of them, because otherwise you can get really confused. So that's the first for me is just selection of few AI tools. And second is to define what you really can do with the tools. And for example, I talk quite a lot with my friends about AI, how they use AI. Usually not so much beyond like ChatGPT. And when I tell them, okay, you have this problem, for example, maybe I'll start with not my example, but my friend, that she's architect. And for her job, she needs to analyze quite a lot of legal documents before she can draft a design for a building or for some road, for example. And for her, the most important is to be able to analyze a big set of documents to find what is relevant and just read what is relevant for her job, for this particular project. And without AI, she had to go through like 60, 70 pages of documents without getting paid, because it was the thing that she needs to do before even she can bid for a contract. So right now with AI, she can get the right path way faster, and it saves her a few hours each time she wants to make a bid. So, but what tool she should use? She said, I can load this amount to ChatGPT. In the past, she couldn't. Right now, ChatGPT improved, but in that when we were discussing, I just said, okay, just go to Google AI Studio, and you have what you need right there. And of course, AI like ChatGPT adjusted themselves, and they can do it now, but it was not so easy for people that time. And there are more and more tools like that showing up. And not everyone are testing them. Some of them were, for example, closed for usage, like Manus AI, that is open from like 2 or 3 weeks now only, which are giving more opportunities to work better, I would say. But you need to learn how to use them and why you even use them at all. So for this example, I would say the biggest problem for me for most of the tools is there's no real multimodality of the tools. So we have a chat, you can give some data, some of them it will understand, but even if it understands, it will not give you back the information in the same form you delivered. So you can give them Google Doc or Google Sheet as a source of knowledge, but you will not get it in the same form back. And then, okay, the AI is helping us in some form of transforming of the data.
Like they will return like a CSV file for a spreadsheet, or they will return the markdown for Google Docs, but it won't be a Google Doc or no, or the
It
spreadsheet.
will not have styles,
Yeah.
it will not have icons, it will not be in the same template.
Mhm.
And I think it will change over time, but there's big road ahead of us
Mhm.
to get it from the main players, like this real multimodality.
Yeah, but that's about the ChatGPT. But
Mhm.
Gemini is already doing this. Like Google is already doing it. So they are a little bit better because they own the ecosystem of
Still,
and other stuff. But still, it's not the best. Yeah, that's
I
true.
I would say no. Like, still, I'm happy with what Gemini delivers in that
Mhm.
form. Like, okay, it can get more data, but still, the generation of document and lag there is
Mhm.
quite significant. So it's doable, but still, the styling is not there, I would say. Um, for me, also, the problem is that, okay, I can get one file out, like some analysis or some report, but who work right now just with single file?
Mhm.
Yeah. We always have different sources of the data, and then we have different ways we deliver this data later, and we want to use them.
Mhm.
So that's why, for example, I started testing a Manus AI, because it say, okay, this is multi-agent system, so it can do a lot of different stuff. It can run virtual machine and download what they need, the tools, and install them and try to use them. So I said, okay, let's try. And I was astounded by what happened there, because I just could provide 5 different files with different type of files. It will parse them, and then I could get 3 different files to other usages. So I think that the nicest example is with a chatbot for hotels that we are working on for our customers. That I said, okay, I want to have this version for different hotel.
Mhm.
How much time it will take for me to build a database about this hotel, to adjust the prompts for that hotel, and get it back to the production to test how it works. And with Manus AI, it took me 3 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah,
Like it is. Yeah, I would say it's like a 2 or 3 hours at least the manual work. Yeah. So.
Yes, and of course I could do it with like 15-20 minutes with some other tools,
Mhm.
going one file by one file and verifying that it's synchronized between the files and it understands it properly. But with this tool, I just put what I want and it just try to deliver. Is it always right? No, you need to check this. But overall, the experience is completely different. And then it's more about working, okay, what kind of question, what kind of prompt I need to give to Manos to get exactly what I need.
Mhm.
And the really nice there is just the Manos try to learn itself.
Mhm.
So it just gives some recommendation, okay, add this to my knowledge base. So, for example, if I ask for some specific adjustment of prompt, that I want to make sure that the structure is the same, or that if I have the different prompt and data, that the data and prompt is always synchronized and it speaks the same language between these two files. So, and it does automatically. You just need to accept this snippet. I think it's called.
Okay. So, multimodality is one thing that you're looking at when you're choosing the tool to use, and the second one is the multi-agency.
Yes, but I think it's a little bit connected,
Mm-hmm.
because, like, from my perspective, multimodality is just different type of files. It would be great to have voice and text, and have 11 Labs, for example, have the 11 Labs is working on that right now,
Mm-hmm.
and it looks promising, I would say. But for me, understanding different files
Mm-hmm.
and being able to output the work to different files or to different systems is the critical part.
Mhm.
And usually it's impossible to do with just single agent.
Mhm.
But you need to have different agents that will approach these problems separately.
Or one agent with different tools.
Yes, or one agent with different tools.
Yeah, so this is what, for example, what I do with Nathan or Nathan, and some workflows that we have, for example, for our Slack channel, where all of the requests from our clients, our leads are coming from, like all of the contact forms, and we automatically are doing some initial validation of this lead. But also later on, we build the database of all of the documentation that we collect from these leads, and the agent has an access to this. So whenever I need something, I need to know something, or I have some questions about the lead, about the project, about his requirements, I'm simply asking on Slack. I'm asking the bots, which is actually the agents behind, configured in Nathan, where the agent has an access to all of the knowledge and the access to the internet and our previous knowledge, and previous knowledge from past projects, and I can ask this bot to actually answer any questions about this lead, about this client, about his project. That is simplifying a lot, and that's similar to the case that you described before about this documentation, this legal documentation, etc. So here is the same. I have a bot that I can talk to. I can ask any question, and it's especially very useful when we are trying to estimate the project for a client or prepare some presentation for a client before we start working on the product.
Yeah, that's important to have different tools. What I found that there's always some limit on the amount of tools that you can
Mhm.
reliably configure. So that's my biggest challenge for N8N setup was that if the configuration for the single tool was too long, I'd rather want to do a separate bot and some
Mhm.
API between, just for the sake of the clarity of that. I expect that there will be just the tools to adjust them. There are some tools that could be utilized, I think Agent AI, something like that, that could help build that better,
Mhm.
faster, but removing quite significantly the control over the process and later on reusability of that.
Yeah, that might be a challenge. You've mentioned at the beginning that there is plenty of tools right now that are available on the market that people can use, that could boost their productivity. I think that's the one challenge, like what the tool choose right now. But the second challenge is how to stay up to date with all of the tools that are appearing there, and that is bothering you much more. Like even the tools that I've been using like 3 or 4 months ago, right now they are like already obsolete because there are better tools on the market, and I still need to learn new and new stuff to actually do the same work more efficient, or stay with the tools that I knew, but agree with that I won't be as efficient as I could be.
Uh, yes, that's the challenge. But I think the biggest challenge is to understand what we can perceive as humans.
Mm-hmm.
Because like 2 months ago, I tried to be on top of knowledge about everything that happens in tools in
Mm-hmm.
AI. And for like 2, 3 weeks, I was capable to do that. But after that time, I got completely exhausted because it is not slowing down. It just speeds up. And like 3 months ago, I would say there's maybe 3 to 5 significant things happening per week.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I would bet that there will be 3 things a day
Yeah.
that happens in this. So if I would like to stay ahead and know everything about everything, or at least have a glimpse of what's happening, it's impossible.
Mm-hmm.
So staying ahead is impossible. It's more about, okay, we need to verify where we are right now. But I think the most important thing is to use some tool that works for us. And I think the biggest challenge is to start,
Mm-hmm.
not to adjust later on, but to start using tools that give us more time, boost our productivity, and simplify our life, our work. and I think this is the most challenging, because right now everyone expects from us that we'll be extremely productive, we'll deliver everything fast, and there will be like there's no time to think. I would say, and how I should find a time to get new tool that will not benefit me right away. Let's say it's not that I will do it now. I will spend 2-3 hours for configuring new tool, and I will get these 2 hours back the same day. It's not how it works. For example, I was working on getting my calendar automatized, but I got too much expectations out of that, and it worked. From time to time, it worked, but there were like 1/3 of the cases where it just mess up, and it put different wrong date. Like there was some problem, not with the idea itself, but the complexity I put ahead of this tool without using that on the smaller scale. And from what I see, it's to start small but implement it and see how this helps, how this make my life easier. For example, do I really need this tool? I would ask myself the question, if I would have an assistant that could learn whatever I want, but I would need to supervise that assistant first, teach that assistant a little bit at the beginning. Would I want this to be done by this assistant or not? And if I ask this question to myself, for example, for calendar management, is that okay? But
Would you really ask your assistant to always put you something into the calendar? Yeah, like, or would you rather do this on your own?
Yeah, I would rather do it on my own. The only case that I would rather have this option to do this not manually is when I'm driving.
Yeah.
But it's more about configuring your regular ChatGPT to just add some stuff to calendar, and that's all what you need from that. So it's more about defining when and how you will use it, and then define, is it worth it to automatize with AI right now. And from what I see, the progress, it will just change over time, that it will be just easier. So having an idea that will take weeks to implement might be obsolete in a month from now, because there will be better solution that will enable you to make the same thing in 3 hours, for example.
That is actually answering the question that I was about to ask you. The question was that how do you decide what's worth automating and what isn't? Do you have anything to add here?
So beside of thinking about would I give it to my assistant or not, I think the other thing is that, do I really want to make it fully automatized? For example, I did a few tests about drafting emails to clients. And after several tries and adjustments, I defined that either I will teach on my, I don't know, hundreds or thousands of emails how I draft emails, and still I will be not happy with this, or just use the draft from AI, just some kind of help. But usually I look on that email and use maybe half of the sentence.
Okay.
Because for me is to get really straight to the point, and adjusting AI to get straight to the
It's
point
very hard.
in the like simple words that others will understand. It's not so easy. So, for example, this one is that I don't want to automatize, at least for now. And other one is
just stuck here. So in my experience, like from how I use AI for emails, I'm not using it for emails. In general, I'm writing emails very rarely. Like I'm usually trying to call people or have a meeting with them face to face because I hate writing emails, but sometimes I have to. And usually I'm not using AI as well for that. But there are some cases when AI is much better than me. For example, when we have some difficult situation with, for example, I know the client who is not paying on time, or someone is angry on us, or I am angry at someone because someone didn't deliver something or something like this. I think it's even more often. Then like I would write an email that would be like, as you said, like straight to the point, which in many cases it's not a good solution. Yeah, sometimes you need to be more like ChatGPT or like another LLM and be more polite and more political in that. I'm not political at all. I'm very direct in the communication, in the verbal communication and the written communication as well, which sometimes may be even a little bit offending to someone. So help from this kind of AI assistant for me, I believe it improved my communication, my relations with many of people in the past year or so.
I would say I have similar experience. I try to be diplomatic, but it takes time to get the right answer that will be really diplomatic. And from what I where I really see a value is where I provide my answer and see this more diplomatic response, and then I just copy what I feel it's the right. So I will not copy everything. I will just copy these few words that better show this, like rephrase it in the more polite words.
I'm not saying that I'm asking GPT to write the email for me. I'm rather working together with a chat on the proper email. So for example, I'm adding some context, like what the past relations with the client was, or with the person I'm writing to, or what is the culture context, for example. Like like there is a different communication with people from US, there's different communication with people from UK, and totally different communication with people from Middle East. Yeah, so this kind of, or from Asia, like there are some nuances that I wasn't aware of, but GPT is aware of. And if you provide this context to the GPT, it will help you to write an email that will be more adjusted to this tool of these nuances.
Yeah, that's I think that give me an idea what I should do before meetings with clients.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm quite straightforward with the during the meetings.
That just bring the idea that since we already do the research about the clients when they are sending the emails to us, we should already do this preparation, like some guide how to communicate with this kind of client.
Yes, and who the person is really is. Maybe I will tell you a little bit about what I used for one of my friends that went for some conference in US, and just dropped me an email Thursday evening that, hey, I'm in the plane. Tomorrow I meet on such and such conference. I got a list of like 56 people that will be there. Could you help me with whom I should really meet? And it was like, okay, so there's no time to go through each person hand by hand. So the only way to get something out of that is AI. So I used this is I think it's showing how it can help, but I had two failures there.
Let's hear the story.
Yeah. So the story is that it's deep tech company that that's looking for funding, and from my perspective was to find, okay, who can give the funding, who could be customer of that company. And I think the most important is the person there really technical. They would they understand this technology or not? And I drafted how to categorize that and put that into Manus together with PDF with the list of people. And weirdly enough, when I provided test sample with 6 people, it worked perfectly. To the point I even got an idea, okay, so give me a profile pictures of each person. But when I tried to scale it up for the full solution with the PDF itself, it just broke.
Mhm.
Yeah, it did half of that and it couldn't continue.
Mhm.
It just were stopping, asking, should I continue? And going forward for one or two people and ask the question, should I
Mhm.
continue? So after that, I decided, okay, let's switch to deep research from Google. And I get some success, but I had still to split these people into two parts. And then I got some results. And the only way to do anything with that was to feed it to Notebook LM
Mhm.
to analyze it once again to
Okay.
get some insights. And my idea was to share it with my client, like my friend, to see if he can utilize. And overall, that worked a little bit.
Mhm.
It gave good insight about what topic speak with a given person, because few of them did a research in similar field
Okay.
as them. So without this knowledge, it would be really hard to get who of these people are really knowing what they are doing and would really understand what my friend is doing. So that's, I think, a success story, even though both tools failed, I would say.
At the end of the day, they brought some value. But that case that you mentioned, that you had to split this huge amount. I mean, not huge, at 60 people, it's still a lot. You had to split it into smaller chunks. And I believe that if you would ask your assistant to do, like, I mean, real assistant, like person, not AI, to do this research for you, I think that they would be overwhelmed as well with the 60 profiles that they need to analyze. And if they would try to do this all at once, they would definitely fail. But in the smaller chunks, or even one by one, that might be like much better solution. So I believe that AI is not worse than people, but our expectations sometimes are too high.
Yeah, I think that our expectation is that it's really skill.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the technology underneath can scale,
Mm-hmm.
but the tooling on top of that is not scaling
Mm-hmm.
yet. So I expect that soon there will be a way to make this kind of workflows semi-automatic in like Manus AI or other tools. And I'm certain that right now we could do this using N8N and our custom workflow.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just doable. Maybe we should do that
Mm-hmm.
for our purposes. For example, in going for conferences, to really know to whom we can give value, because it's not about, okay, who I can target. No, like it's more about how we can approach someone that we can really bring value.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good to know with whom you should talk, because they can utilize the value you give.
Mm-hmm.
And don't lose yourself time and time of other people when you will not bring this value at all. And AI can help with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So let's go to another question that I have. So, have you ever been surprised by the outcomes that you get from AI in a good or a bad way?
With the good way, I was surprised how easy it is right now to make some landing page.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really surprised. I think I use V0
Mm-hmm.
tool when I wanted to do some like demo website about our hotel chatbot, and just wrote down something like that. I want to have a landing page for managing directors of the hotels about the chatbot that will help guests know more about hotel period.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, I just got the full website with values
Mm-hmm.
on the first page. And out of 5 values, only one was wrong.
Okay.
Let's say only one was different from what I defined through my 2 weeks research.
Wow.
So, so it was like, okay, great. In the end, this one value is something that differentiates what we do and what all the competition is doing. So I think that's how all the values were there, but I was amazed how fast and easy it was.
Oh yeah, that's the progress that those tools made recently is huge. Yeah, like especially for this, let's say, simple task, but still it's not very simple. I would say it would take like a couple of days to some content writer or marketing person to actually set up this kind of website, maybe with some developers' help, or maybe not if they are familiar with, I know, WordPress or something
Mhm.
like that. But still, that's a couple of days, and you're saying it's like a couple of hours or minutes even.
Minutes.
Minutes, yeah.
Really.
If there is something wrong, you can adjust it, or you can, like ask AI to do it over again and over again until it will be good enough.
Yeah, like still it was just a starting point for what I wanted to do. Overall, I realized that it's not the way to go
Mhm.
because uh, I think the most challenging right now for making AI tools is not about making nice website about
Mhm.
that or something like that, but really defining value and defining a way to approach people that you can bring this value.
Mhm.
And that's problematic because right now, landing page, no, it's so crowded all around that. It's really hard to get through that. Like 2 3 years ago, that was easy. If you are able to get a landing page, you can get some promotion and you can start bootstrap from that. Right now, you need to have a product already to convince people to invest into that.
Mhm.
So that's the different story. Uh, the other successful story would be that I don't like using Facebook.
Mhm.
And to get my research about hotels and chatbots at hotels, I had to go to Facebook,
Oh my God.
to Facebook group, and ask this question to the people there. And I got answers from different people to this my questionnaire. It was done not optimal, but I didn't hear I was not hearing well that AI said, "Okay, it's too long." I said, "No, I need this data." It was too long. But what I got out of this discussion was that several comments that I brought way more knowledge out of them, but some of them was really tricky to answer. How to answer the comment from potential competitor,
Mhm.
how to do it well, and maybe get some more knowledge out of the potential answer.
Mhm.
And I, I think I gave good answer to that comment, but I didn't hear back anything from them. So maybe the question was too good, or but otherwise, I would really hesitate about responses and how to address, for example, competitors at that forum. It played well.
That's close to this diplomatic emails.
Yes,
Yeah, like
yes.
so here might be the same, like how to answer publicly to the competitor in a way that it will not uh show you from negative perspective, like show you to your potential clients who are also reading it,
Mhm.
and also showing that you have some knowledge, you have something to offer, even maybe something more than the competitors
Yeah.
right now.
Essentially, a month ago, I knew almost nothing about hotel
Mhm.
chatbots, anything like that. Right now, we can get to really deep discussion, and it's mostly because one, the tremendous knowledge I got from just few talks about
Mhm.
at the beginning, and then ton of research I did with AI to get more and more deeper into what is the real reason of the problems with hotels and the communication. So then when I went to the hotel owners the next round,
Mhm.
it was really, I knew what I need to ask to get their emotional response that, okay, that's the real problem, not something else.
Yeah.
And this helped with diagnosis of where you can really give customer benefit with
Mhm.
your work.
In the past few days, I've joined a discussion at LinkedIn about the specialization in software houses in the companies like Pragmatic Others, and my opinion was that right now the specialization doesn't matter as much as it used to. Like especially with this kind of tools, like we can build anything. Even if we haven't done anything like this before, we can build anything. Say most of the things in the world, just because we have an access to the knowledge which is already in AI, or with the help of AI, we can faster gain this knowledge from the users, from domain experts, from anyone on the market, from the clients or users. So specialization is not as important as it used to be unless there is some technology behind us, this specialization.
Yes and no,
Mhm.
I would say. That's true for some niche applications where there's not a lot of knowledge.
Mhm.
That might be the case, but I would say it mostly depends on the customer.
Mhm.
How open the customer is, not about the technology, about what they really want to do. It's more about what they, how open they are. Sometimes how open their either customers or suppliers are.
Mhm.
And so, for example, we have customers that just came today about and asked us, can we get conversion from the roofing drawing to the CAD system that models that, and then based on that they prepare quotations.
Okay.
It's crazy, I would say, but from my perspective, yeah, it's doable if we can get access to API to the
Mhm.
software. Could be usable, could be doable. It's not easy, but that's why it's great project, because it's not easy.
Mhm.
Yeah, how to estimate it, that's different story.
Yeah.
But there are crazy ideas happening right now, and from my perspective is that we have so much tools as engineers or as a software house that we can bring a lot of great stuff in a reasonable cost for the customer that 3 years ago you would not imagine that it's
Yeah.
even possible.
And this is another topic that I'm often repeating in various contexts, is that custom software has never been cheaper than it is right now, and it's getting cheaper and cheaper with every day. So, for example, if you were thinking about custom software like 5 years ago, and someone told you the price, and you were like shocked, no, it's not for me, I cannot afford it. Try again right now. If it's still too much, try again in 1 year or 2 years. You will be surprised how the prices went down, how the estimations went down, and I'm not saying that every company is able, every software house, every custom software company is able to deliver custom software at the lower rates than it was in the past. But the modern software companies like Pragmatic and other companies on the market as well, who are following this trend on the market, who are using these tools like Cursor AI or workflow automations and other stuff, they can offer you building the products in a way better prices than they used to in the past few years. So if you were thinking about custom software for your company, for your startup idea, whatever, now is the great time to ask for the price again.
Yeah. Coming back to the specialization of the software houses, um, I don't care about, like, I really enjoy what the pragmatic coders did in the past,
Mhm.
but I don't care if the customer is in finance, is it medical, or it's roofing, or
Logistic or anything
logistics,
else.
or whatever else. It's more about how open they are with us, and at least if they have any business problem that we can solve and give them business boost out of that. And I think that's right now the most focus is about delivering business, um, um, uh, d- delivering really business. Um, right now, the most important part is to deliver value, the real business value to our customers. And right now, it's not about can you do that.
Mhm.
It's more about, okay, how much can give you back when we deliver that.
Mm-hmm.
And the customer needs to decide, okay, is it worth for them or not? Can we cut the time, or can we cut the real cost, or both? But the most important is, will they have a better business out of that or not? And that's the driver of if is it worth it by cost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's right now with also AI tools, it's easier for us to even estimate that.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah, we are using AI for estimating. Still, there is human factor there, but we are utilizing AI a lot to estimate, and we of course use our data from over 100 projects from the past to be better in estimating. And I must admit that recently our estimates are getting better and better with every new project. So AI is really boosting it.
Yeah, and that's helps us also to make it faster.
Yeah.
So it's not about like multi-weeks project before we even start.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, come to us, provide the basic problem definition, then we get to the point where we either build together the full workflow, what it's really need to be done,
Mm-hmm.
or the customer provide that to us. Yeah.
And that reminds me about another story from the other perspective, like about the communication of what need to be done when we talk to our clients. One of our clients actually came to us with the ready prototype that he actually created in Lovable, which is like a prototyping tool, or even some people are using it for true development, and they are pushing this prototypes to production and test it. But this client like spent few days on just talking with AI, generating some code, generating some layouts, and he actually provided as a clickable prototype with some basic functionality of the application that he wanted us to build. And that was actually amazing. Like we had like a one meeting for less than an hour, and we clearly understood what he's trying to build because we simply seen it. So we were able to figure out what else needed to be done, how to turn it into real product, etc., and provide with the estimates. And I believe that we avoided a lot of miscommunication on the way, and that simplified the entire process a lot. Yeah, I believe that's the future. Yeah, like this kind of prototyping, even if not done directly by the clients, I believe that our team need to work on that way, that instead of just shaping the application somewhere in the air, or writing the documentation or requirements docs, we can in the same time generate some prototypes that will show to the client, and the client will tell us, okay, that's not that should be differently, etc., and that will simplify the communication and speed it up.
Yeah, and essentially that's just a new tool for us to also push the customers to get this knowledge. Yeah, so it's not about, okay, the customers will come in, but we also can get back to the customer and say, okay, we think it looks like that. What do you think? Is it that or not? And it doesn't cost us hours of development. It just take us half an hour or something like that to get like the first draft. For example, with hotel bots, it's 3 to 5 minutes per hotel to adjust it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like really just like that, from the perspective of the customer. So right now, not only the cost will shrink, but also the time to start and the time of development. So I think that's the most important, to not be afraid of the idea. It's because it doesn't mean, even if right now it's impossible to do it in this in a given budget,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't mean it will stay the same.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
certain will go down. We don't know how much and when.
And when, yeah.
Yeah, but essentially it's more about, okay, so we could do that, but only if image recognition will be on like a level higher
Mm-hmm.
than that, or 2 level higher for some applications, and that's fine. It's like at least for me, it's like, okay, so right now I can just be straightforward. Okay, if you ask us to do it right now, it will be millions. But let's wait half a year and come back to this topic, because it might be 100.
Yeah, that's so yeah. And from the other perspective, like we had a client like a couple of months ago, for whom we've been doing some prototyping with the AI agents, and at that moment we were unable to actually provide the results that will be good enough for this client because the technology wasn't there yet. But I'm convinced that in the next couple of months or week, and I think that we even right now should test a new models that are available. Just change the models in what we already built at that time, and I'm pretty sure that the results will be already much better, if not good enough to actually continue this product. So not only the price, but also something that wasn't achievable at that time, and not so long ago, right now might occur to be achievable, and we might be able to deliver something that will bring a value for a client, even if we hadn't to some time ago.
Yeah, because the speed is so fast.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Completely crazy.
Okay, so getting back to the productivity and personal productivity. So what would you recommend to someone who is just starting with AI and want to boost their productivity?
So first of all, I would not start with many tools. I would just get one tool, maybe ask this tool what you should use for achieving some small improvements on productivity. Either it will be drafting emails, or they will be managing the calendar, or drafting marketing posts. There are different approaches, or analyzing some given documentation, and based on that, select just one tool, nothing else, and book like 2 hours a week just to focus on productivity with this tool, nothing else. Just
So you need to already know some basic productivity tricks to become more productive with AI.
or you need to make some trade-offs, I would say.
Or ask AI how to be more productive.
Yes, I would say that can help anyone. Yeah, because there's always something that you can do better. I would also bet that there's something that you can always start using, and it will give you some boost for a week or something, that you can utilize these few hours to automate something. Keeping that, it's not the easiest way. So behavioral changes are not easy implementable, but bursting for like a week or two is doable. And if you really focus during this time to get this 2 hours a week to boost productivity in other areas, you will see the results just next week and next week. And the most important is not to select a big task. It's not worth it. It's start small. Be aware that it costs money, and it's good spent money.
Yeah.
I would say 20 euros for like any like chat or Claude or Gemini. It's really worth it. At least one of them you should have it. There are sometimes other tools that you need to spend money on, but it will pay off. You can always do a review every month. Am I using this tool? Should I keep it? For example, I have a special calendar entries every month for a few of the most expensive tools. Do I use it?
Okay.
Yeah. Is it worth it for me to keep this?
Okay.
Yeah. And I started that with the idea, okay, I never use Manus. Okay, let's start it. Okay, it's quite expensive as for a tool because it costs around 50 bucks. So it's say, okay, it's more expensive than I used to spend on any AI tool till that time. Let's say, okay, let's try it. I will just put a entry to cancel it. And in the first month, when I was just heading to this date, it was like 3 days to this date. I had this time I had to use it, and it worked. Maybe not perfectly, but it helped me a lot. And after that, said, okay, it is worth it. So I kept this, but I keep this entry every month to check it.
Just to check it, yeah.
Just to check it, because if there will be a month that I never use it, I say, okay.
So again, you already need to know some productivity tricks to be productive with AI, and I think that's is about, like if you're working a chaotic way, and then you just put an AI on that, you will be way more chaotic than you were before. Yeah,
because you will be able to be more chaotic.
Yeah.
So, for example, I'm quite chaotic person. So for me, the idea was that I will get everything with AI organized.
Good luck.
No, the first thing you need to be well organized to even start organizing that with AI. So what I started first, I started organizing, so time blocking, putting every task I want to do in a calendar. And that helped me a lot, but I realized I don't need AI to do that. And for me, it's faster to move some tasks between days, because I see that they are really low value for me. I want to do them in the future, but I don't need to do it today. I have more important tasks to do. So I had to do that myself. But doing research to do this automatization, I got to read how to really do this, how to implement it. And that's why I knew that, okay, it's good to have a framework. It's good to have a inbox when you put everything and then organize that. And I realized why I never were successful with that. And for me is that if I have 50 tasks to do, it's overwhelming me. So right now I just don't put more tasks than like 10. And yeah, I need to finish something else. Maybe I will put some notes that will show up in my inbox in a week or two. But right now it means that I don't have space to work on that. So that's my hack. That doesn't use AI at all. But I wish in a month or two, I will be able to put this to work with AI, and that will open more scope of the projects I can use, can work on.
You've mentioned before about the building some habits of using AI, like spending these 2 hours a week just to familiarize yourself with AI, with a tool, but also just to build some habits. Like for me, it actually took at least a few months to build a habit of asking ChatGPT, which is my number one tool that I'm using right now, to solve some problems. Like I always feel the temptation that I first need to check in the Google, then YouTube, then maybe something else, and find for the solution. But later, after I'm spending 5 or 10 minutes on Googling things, it's like oh my God, how many pages I need to go through to find the stupid answer for the stupid question, and then ask ChatGPT and I get it right away, or it asks me more question and I describe the problem. For example, yesterday I had a problem with a multi-cooker that I just bought, and I didn't know how to use it properly, and there was like a long, huge book of the instruction, and I didn't want to go through it. And first I checked for a video on YouTube how to use it. It was disaster. Like that didn't answer my question, my particular problem that I had. But I started talking with ChatGPT, and after 3 questions, I get an answer that actually worked. It was like 2 minutes or something like this. That was crazy.
So then I will tell you how I use AI in my private work, private side of my life, because what I decided that I don't want to use AI to, for example, communicate with my family. I don't see it as any point to
Mhm.
use it. Maybe in the future for some explicit tool, like some knowledge sharing, maybe that will be the time to use it.
Mhm.
But not for communication. But what I found really useful is that, for example, I don't use Google for searching anymore. I use Perplexity.
Mhm.
And okay, Google is getting better in that, but I got used to Perplexity right now. So on my phone, I just ask Perplexity on multiple things. And what I found is really great is, okay, I want to make a dinner for tomorrow. Uh, and I have some ingredients
Mhm.
that I bought.
And some
I'm so
limitation and some favorite.
yeah. For example, like when I make it for the whole family, I'll also need to look into allergens and so on. That there are some limitations.
My GPT already know what I like.
Yeah, but the most important is that I think where AI can help us is that we as the humans are limited in how many choices
Yeah.
we can really make a day.
Mhm.
And there is a really limit. After that, anyone will get overwhelmed.
Yeah,
Anyone has different number.
it's this research about willpower, yeah, and other
Yeah.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and then if there's something that you really don't care, like okay, I care about food, but there's the end of the day. I would like to cook something for the family, but I don't have an idea, and I don't want to force myself to get an idea what I can do. What I did last week was just, okay, I put what I have in my kitchen. It was easy because I don't need to do any decision. I just put what I have there. And I said, okay, give me a recipe for ribs with Indian style. And I got it. So, and it tastes okay-ish, I would say. Uh, I do better stuff with different ingredients.
And we need to exchange our GPTs. Like mine is cooking better than what you are describing. Like, definitely it's cooking better than me. So
No, like for that purpose, my wife is way better than Perplexity. So, but sometimes neither me or her, we don't have an idea. So, like I tried, it was okay-ish, but yeah. But I tried, and from at least from my perspective, or me being exhausted mentally, it was good. Yeah. So I will try it more, certainly. But this is where, for example, AI could help to don't need to do some choices, just get what AI suggests you.
So in my case, it's still like choosing what I want to, but I've eliminated the part of thinking out what choices do I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, so since I have this one thread with my GPT where like it already knows all of my favorite foods, like all of the things that I do eat. I don't want to eat sugar. I don't want to eat carbs at all, or limit it to the minimum. So it's always choosing. It knows that I like some things that are spicy, some Mediterranean food, some Asian cuisine, Thai or whatever, Indian. So sometimes it is when I ask it to provide me some examples, it starts with the questions like what is your mood today or something like this, and I provide them, or are you very hungry or a little bit hungry, yeah, like something like this.
Okay.
Or yeah, so I provide this like one or two answers, and it provides me the 3 or 4 options. And if I don't like it, I simply give me more. Give me more. Like it give me like 20 or 30, and I choose like 1 or 2 of them, and go deeper. Like what are the ingredients and other stuff. But usually it's like the first 3. Like one of them is good enough.
Okay. No, I think that's how it can really help.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think that crucial was that I've built it up by providing a lot of information to the GPT.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest challenge for everyone is that how much of the data you want to share with AI.
Yeah.
And for example, from my perspective, is that okay? do I trust everyone with the data I want to share? For example, for getting things done, there are already solutions based on AI that I could utilize. But there are some small companies that I would not trust my data with, at least for now. Would I use it with OpenAI or Gemini? Yeah.
We already trust those corporates with, like we
have
sort
the
of
in-
trust Google, we sort of trust Meta, we sort of trust Microsoft, which is behind the OpenAI. So I'm not using X, so I'm not using Grok as well.
Yeah, for example, from the tools, I was really astounded about how Grok do it. So, I don't have a paid Grok now because I don't use it so often. But when I was comparing Perplexity Pro and Grok usually win.
Oh,
Yeah, so that was funny.
nice.
That's it's more about like the limitations with Grok. With the free version, you need to pay it quite fast for the deeper questions. For Perplexity, when you have it for 1 year, it's I have it, so
Yeah.
I use it.
Regarding the 1 year subscription, the things that you mentioned, that you are always checking every month if you want to continue the subscription, etc. I think that that's a good piece of advice too. Even that those tools are usually much cheaper when you're subscribing for a year. Sometimes it's worth to at least start for a couple of months on the monthly subscription, and not only check if this is something that is bringing value for you, but also to check every month if there is something better, or if at least the tool that you're using is making a progress. If it's making a progress, then probably it's worth to continue it as a yearly subscription, and if you are using it, of course. But if you are using it, but there are other tools on the market and these tools stay behind, well, that might be a good opportunity to change this subscription to another tool.
Yeah. Also, I think also it's too good to write down a situation when AI failed you. Yeah. So, for example, if I was not, it was not possible for me to find something on Perplexity. So if I have time, I do research with Grok. Yeah, and see if I will get better answers there. So this is for me the rule of thumb. Okay, find who can answer my questions better. And of course, that will not work with this kind of customization that you feed a lot of data already, because then any model that you train with your data will have better results for you. But overall, it's good to do this validation, because that changes. Yeah, that same goes for us here at Pragmatic.
Yeah.
That we know new stuff is coming out, and sometimes it's getting out so fast that we have no time to check the previous version, but the new version is already there, and it was just 2 weeks. So,
or like for a company that has say 100 people on board, it's even like 2 weeks is way too fast. 2 months is also too fast to actually follow up or catch up with all of these new tools. Like we already started propagating the knowledge about how to use Cursor AI or Aider in software development, when we just started it, and more people started using it at the company. At the same time, there are new tools appearing, new concepts, new ways to code with AI, and we need to start over and over and over every time, and adjust our trainings, our onboardings to those tools.
and that's, I think, how I think that's define how new kind of work will look like. It's about continuous adjustment.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So the only stable thing here is the change inevitably. So that's the only thing that is stable here, is the change. And are we there that it's inevitable that the changes will happen with AI? Yes. You can like it or not, but it will happen. And I think maybe coming back to why I came here to Pragmatic Coders is that here I can have an influence about will it be used wrong or right way, and
Or it will be, if it will be used at all.
or it will be used at all.
Yeah.
And this is for me the most important to enable businesses to really utilize what's possible right now.
Mhm.
And that's my goal right now, to get everyone that's even think about using AI or some tools or automatization to be able to do that, because it's possible.
Mhm.
It's just possible. It's not about price. It's more about, okay, do you really want it?
Mhm.
Because I don't think so. That there is a company that there's no automatization that could be profitable that we can use. We
Yeah.
can do. It's more about searching for it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. But what is actually a bit disappointing me maybe is that there is still so many companies that are not utilizing AI at all, and there are a lot of companies still that are actually prohibiting their employees to use AI. And I know that some of them might have some good reasons, but most of these reasons could be addressed by, for example, private models, etc., that will not share any data and will be way more secure. But someone need to make it happen.
It's like every new tool. Uh, you need to have some supervision, but you need someone that will take responsibility for that. And I think that's the problem of the companies. And in the past, we also had this kind of companies.
Mm.
And
I think that a good example is migration to cloud. Like a decade or two ago, like there was a lot of clients, banks, and financial institutions that were saying, no, cloud is not secured. We cannot go there. We need to have our own. We need to have our own infrastructure. And now everyone is cloud native, almost.
yeah, almost everyone, but still you have few companies that are still with their own data centers.
Yeah.
But that change was slow.
Mhm.
Current change will be fast.
Yeah.
And I would say that it's too fast for humans. And that's why it will be really problematic. That's why the usage of the AI is important and necessary to be competitive, but we shouldn't rush extremely with
Mhm.
that. It's more about looking precisely what what we can benefit out of that automatization or usage some given tool. Uh, Not to overhype. That's okay. Everyone uses AI. We need to use AI. Um, I think that the counter example to using AI is when I get the emails that are clearly wrote by AI. And okay,
Like most of them are clearly read by AI. So
uh,
already.
yeah, but mm, I believe that we are in the world that human interaction will the value of human interaction will just grow
Yeah.
and grow and grow and grow. And okay, we can use AI in a lot of different ways, but in the end, in 2, 5, 10 years from now, human to human interaction will be way more valued
Mhm.
than currently. And when we implement any solution around AI, we need to keep in mind what is our real value
Mhm.
and what will be our real value in the future. Yeah. Uh, I would say the one example would be here at Pragmatic Coders. Will we replace the salespeople with AI bots?
I don't think so.
Exactly.
I think that sales will be always about the trust. Maybe there is a chance that the chance that I don't believe in, but there is a small chance that buying decision might be at some point made by AI, by AI agents or something like this, and those kind of agents will be, like most probably will be preferring talking to another AI agents and the bots, not to human. But I don't think that will happen for this kind of services that we are providing, like custom software development. but I don't know if at that time, if this kind of agents will be there, there will be any custom software development services anymore. So,
Like
so
I
yeah.
think that everything will be custom software.
Or yeah.
Yeah, that's true. But I think that the most important is that um, it's about delivering value. Yeah, and the trust is something that humans can give to someone else
Yeah.
and to other humans. Yeah, okay, you can trust the machine, but it's way
It's
harder.
it's a different. I think we need a different word for trust to machine. Yeah, like do you, for example, trust, as we said, like we trust Google, we trust Meta, we trust.
There are
But
people behind that.
yeah.
There are different services there. There are services that you have real human behind it.
Mhm.
For example, when you have your representative from Google Ads, not everyone get this kind of treatment, but you have sometimes you have real person behind,
Mhm.
and that's the person that builds trust and can deliver way more than the machine can do
Mhm.
right now. Probably this kind of tools will be somehow replaced or adjusted with AI, but there will be always this component there because there is always some uncertainty when you build new thing, and you need to trust or the other party that they will do it right.
Mhm.
And I'm not concerned about pragmatic at all because with like more than 70% of the projects done from referrals from other customers is like crazy. So from my perspective, it's like, okay, the world will change, we will change, but yeah,
But
will
there
be
will be enough impacts just to move on.
exactly.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
true. That's true. Okay, so if we are already talking about the future, let's get to the conclusion and to the last question that I have for you. So, what is your opinion? What do you think will change, or how this personal productivity boosted by AI will look like in the next 12 to 24 months?
So I think more of the tools will be integrated either with ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini,
Mhm.
or Copilot. Um, and that would be my expectation that we'll have fully integrated system of like managing the meetings, getting
Mhm.
tasks somewhere. I don't know if we'll get there that you will be able to easily delegate the task to
Mhm.
AI. I wish, but I think it's still quite complicated. There will be still some customized workflow necessary to do that
Mhm.
stuff. But my view on that would be that, yeah, right now we have this many companies about getting more productive happening, but it's just UI.
Mhm.
It's just UI on top of something. And I expect that in 2 years, you would just say, okay, I want this kind of UI for this data you have in ChatGPT, and it will be there. And you will not need the Notion, for
Mhm.
example, or Trello or whatever, because you could do that. You will be able to manage that one. The
Mhm.
question will be how the sharing will be done. I think that's the biggest challenge is how to share the data between instances. Right now, there is no way to do that,
Mhm.
really. So that part might be the not yet there.
Mhm.
Yeah. So if we speak about your own productivity and managing your own world, it would be doable in that,
Mhm.
in just ChatGPT, for example. But if we talk about real interactions, not yet.
I think that yeah, we are not there yet, but that reminds me about the discussion that I had a couple of years ago, a couple of days ago, years ago. That the new big thing in the UX, in the user experience, is not user experience right now, but it's AI experience. Like how to build systems that will be accessible by the AI, by AI agents and generative AI models, so in a secure way, but also in a usable way, that they will be able to actually use the interface to connect to this kind of tools to anything that we are building here.
Yes, I would agree. And from that perspective, I don't believe that, for example, the companies like Notion will don't exist, but they will need to switch who the customer is,
Yeah.
and essentially they will need to get integrated into the full.
Or provide an interface for integration. Yeah.
Yeah, but the question is how they will monetize that. Yeah, because you will not pay 10 different subscriptions.
So don't you think that the visualization of the data, like in Notion or Trello or
Yeah, but I think we'll get to the point where the Google changed the behavior of the internet. Because in the past, Google was some aggregator of different stuff, but later on, Google started to be a competitor. So they started with Gmail. Then they moved to news, YouTube. They bought YouTube because Google Video was not so successful. But then we went to products, and for example, any price comparison companies get really screwed by Google because Google started offering that one on the main search. Together with the ads.
The same with like airline tickets search or train tickets or
Google Maps.
Google Maps, yeah.
Yeah. So the problem I feel here is that this will happen way faster with ChatGPT, for example, because when you define what really users want to use, then you can just get and make a prompt that will really write this code and you will have it. So in the end, I would expect that ChatGPT would say, okay, you use Notion, you pay I don't know, $15 a month for Notion, and after that there will be just okay, do you want to have a better tool that will migrate everything from your Notion to the tool you don't need to pay in ChatGPT, and so on and so forth. So I think that at least when you have just a management of the data that doesn't give additional value, you have a problem. Sometimes the data itself might be the thing that you will keep, and you can make money out of that. But a lot of companies will have a big problem.
I think that we are living in a really interesting times, and we'll see what will come in the next couple of months or years. And I hope that all of these companies will find a way to bring value to the customers, and so they will still be making some money. But also, I think I hope that there will be much better solutions that will allow us to be not only more productive and effective, but also, for example, more happy in our life and in how we spend our time.
When we use AI right way, we can just get that one.
Exactly. So thank you very much for watching this episode, and don't forget to subscribe to Pragmatic Talks. And if you have any comments, any questions, or any topics that you believe we should talk about or explore more in the next episode of Pragmatic Talks, do not hesitate to leave a comment, and remember to give us a thumb up as well. Thank you very much.